and that cured that problem. Now I'm getting to these little bumps. That was the next problem. The next problem was that because this top was so uniform, if you put a pot of cold water on it, it touched almost all the way around, which made a huge contact point, which caused the heat from the stove, the hot stove, to transfer its heat into the pot of cold water. And it would suck all the heat out of the stove, like a heat sink. The stove would cool down and go out. Well, that's not very good. You could hold the pot above it and get the pot warm and then set it on, you're fine. But if you just took a cold pot of water and it was a good fit, it would simply put the stove out. So what I did to cure that was, and I don't know if you can see it or not, I upset 3 places on the rim of this stove. And that gives you 3 little bumps. And what those bumps do is, now they perform 2 tasks. One is, they limit the contact area between the pot and the top of the stove. Now, what that does is, because the contact area is just the very point of these, the heat can't transfer up to the pot because it doesn't have enough surface area to transfer very well. And that stops the stove from cooling down and going out. But as an added benefit, it also stops the pot from sealing on the top of the stove so it can't boil over. So I no longer need to put the relief jets in the top. These 3 bumps take care of 2 problems. And that makes for a stove that doesn't go out when you put a cold pot of water on it, unlike most of the other stoves designed like this. And it also keeps it from sealing so it can't overflow like some of the other stoves like this will do. So that makes for a pretty darn good stove. And because I've kept the wall thickness thin, it lights really fast. You can wet down this wick and light it, and in 20 seconds it's all blossomed out and going. So that makes for a really good stove. Now, some people have tried to use this stove with a Heine pot or a Foster's pot, and the flame ring is too wide. It'll go right up by. So this stove is not good for small pots. In fact, I would say I would use this on anything in a pot less than 4.5 or 5 inches to keep the flame ring underneath. Second thing is, it's a very hot stove. It puts out a lot of heat. So it's not something you want to try to simmer with or try to fry with. It's just too darn hot. This stove's really made for one thing only, and that's for boiling water in a 5-inch pot fairly fast, and that's pretty much the limitation of it. The strong points of it is it's very hot, and it's very simple. There's no hoses or anything to do. You just dump the fuel in here, put some on the wick, light it, put your pot on, life is good, and you're cooking. It's compact, it requires nothing but itself, it's relatively cheap at $15, and it's very durable. It's much stronger than the rest of the soda can stoves. This is 4 times as thick as a regular soda can. And that's basically the skimmy on the BIOS 2. Now, some people hypothesized that the boil-over problem was this and that, and they were all wrong, except for the one person that said it was sealing on the pot, and that's the only reason why it was boiling over. The capillary action theory between the 2 walls and the jets not being high enough theory is all just pure bunk and has nothing to do with reality. It was sealing on the pot, pressurizing itself, and as soon as I put the bumps on it or drilled the inside relief ports, it cured the problem, and it's a real good stove now, and I sell a lot of them. So I'm Tinny from Mini Bull Design. Get out and hike, take a friend, watch the ads on all my videos. The ads are at the bottom, people don't even see them, but those ads are important. Watch them. Now I'm going to tell you to click on an ad if you're not interested, but please notice the ads, and if you do see one you're interested in, click on it and watch it. You may find something you want to buy. I'll make a little money, Google will make a little money, and the advertisers will get the word out. The ads have kind of become just a nuisance thing that nobody even bothers to read or look at, and that's really sad, because it's a fairly important part of this whole system to make it economically feasible, and if people don't click on the ads, this whole format is going to go away. So get out and hike, take a friend, cook some really great meals out on the trail, use your BIOS stove, and more important than anything, support the cult, and have a really great day. Bye-bye.